It's 9 minutes gone past 3 p.m. on the fine Monday afternoon, the 13th day in the month of December 2021. Of course, the year 2021 just about has come to an end. Christmas is around the corner. I hope you're doing very well. I hope it's been a fruitful year for you. But I mean, it has been a challenging year for the entire world in our that. The last year or two had extremely challenging for the entire world. Absolutely so. It's been a difficult time indeed. But I do hope that things are warming up again for you and looking up as well. And I do hope you had a fine weekend. Also, considering everything. And the start to the working week has been a productive one for you. And even though as the year comes to an end, once again, I do appreciate that you might be in a hurry to make some last-minute changes or improvements or cover some last-minute ground, if you will. And you might be in a hurry to do that. And whilst you may have good cause to do that, do be extra careful as well. And be responsible not just for your safety, but the safety of others also. Be careful, watch out for accidents when you're on the roads, and even more so domestic accidents as well, because accidents do happen not only when you're on the roads, they do happen at home also, or even within buildings. So do watch out for the usual. Be careful with electrical appliances, switch what needs to be switched off if you live in the home or at night before going to bed. Also be careful with cooking utensils, home appliances, knives and the rest of cooking, gas cylinders, kerosene at home or wherever else for that matter. That's all goes through to the end of this year, and hope for a better 2022, a better year that is. Welcome once again. From now till 7, we keep the conversation going as usual. A few matters up for discussion on the show today. You're very welcome to be part of it, of course. I do have the traditional side comments coming up in a moment, random stories, random thoughts that caught my attention earlier on today, which will not be discussed now until later on. After that, I do have a round coming up, something on my mind that express some thoughts in it, and you are welcome to express your thoughts and mine till 4 p.m. Now we've got business news at 4 o'clock, as usual as well. After that, discussions continue. And in the 4 o'clock hour today, are Nigerian leaders cultists? Well, maybe not all of them. Maybe some of them. Maybe a lot of them. Well, here's the story. Cut to the cable. How Black Axe cult group is infiltrating Nigerian politics. You can find details in the cable. But maybe look at a few lines or some paragraphs before moving on. Once again, story cut to the cable. How Black Axe cult group is infiltrating Nigerian politics. Now here's a bit of the story. A BBC investigation has revealed how the Black Axe cult group is infiltrating Nigerian politics. Black Axe has developed a dreadful reputation in Nigeria over the years, with several killings and other criminal activities tied to the organization. Now, the organization has also been described as a mafia-like network of criminal cells involved in cybercrime and human trafficking with bases across continents. In a 52-minute video documentary, BBC Africa Eye investigated the link between the criminal organization and its perceived role in Nigerian politics. John Stone, a political science lecturer at the University of Benin and former member of the Black Axe, said the group members are indeed in higher positions in the Nigerian government in furtherance of their doctrine. Quote, there are lots of members in the House of Assembly, even the executive, that are members of this group. That is what the group preaches, veer into any position that you know is humanly possible. Some masked members of Black Axe also confessed that politicians do hire them for operations and electoral violence. Quote, all these politicians, they give us jobs sometimes. We run errands for them. Some buy us cars, like force-free cars or operations. We don't fear because we have their backup. That's what gives us the confidence to do what we do. They know if they're rivals with someone, they give the assignment to tough guys like us. They know that whatever little money they give, we will do the job. Alright, so Well, just give me this one more paragraph before I move on. Now, a document obtained by the BBC also suggested 35 million naira was funneled to an organization called the Neo Black Movement of Africa (NBM), which has been linked to the Black Act to protect votes and secure victory during the 2012 gubernatorial election in Edo State. So maybe more on this in the 4 o'clock hour, but the headline once again: how Black Axe Force Group is infiltrating Nigerian politics. Well, several issues here, no doubt. But I'm asking you, is cultism a big problem in Nigerian politics? Is it that big of a problem? Or maybe it's been made bigger than it actually is? I think it's all taken that in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. That takes us to 5. The news update is up at 5 p.m. But after that, Nigeria is still on red lists. Yep, as far as tribal advisories are concerned. Well, the UK is insisting, story here, The Punch, we won't reverse travel ban over FG's threat. That's from the UK. If we check another story here from the Guardian newspaper, FG to place UK, Canada, Saudi Arabia and others on red list today. Barring any last-minute change, all eyes are on the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 to announce the federal government's placement of the United Kingdom, Canada, Saudi Arabia, among others, on a red list, banning both airlines and their citizens from coming into Nigeria. The action, which is to reciprocate the earlier ban on Nigerians, the federal government were protesting against blanket restriction on Nigerian citizens over the spread of Omicron variant of COVID-19. This is coming after what seemed a week of wait, political tinkering and cautious study of events. Would that be the way to go? This retaliation, if you will. You might remember the UK, Canada, Saudi Arabia and some other countries have placed Nigeria on a red list. Which means that Nigerian airlines or Nigerian citizens cannot fly from Nigeria to those countries. It can't happen. And the reason given for this, of course, was the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus. However, some of the detail here, according to the BBC, Omicron, why Nigeria is on the travel red list. Now, where was Nigeria added? Now, the criteria for the red list, first off, the decision to place a country on the red list is based on risk assessment from the Joint Biosecurity Center, including the quality of its testing structures, including checking for variants, the number of cases those systems have identified, whether people have been catching new variants there or the cases have come from overseas, whether it has exported cases of new variants to other countries, including to the UK, the quality of travel links with the UK. Now, as to why Nigeria was added, the UK government says Nigeria was added to the list because its analysis suggests a strong indication of Omicron in Nigeria. Several cases identified in the UK are linked to travel from Nigeria. Nigeria has strong travel links with South Africa, where Omicron was first detected. Alright, so should the Nigerian state, the Nigerian government be retaliating against not just the UK, but some of these other countries as well? Would that be the way to go? I'll get your take on that in the 5 o'clock hour. We've got headlines 5:30, major news at 6 p.m. and open season is up after that. If you've missed out on contributing to any of the matters discussed on the show, I'll take your thoughts at about that time till about 7 o'clock when the show comes to an end. So pretty much that's what Hard Fact is all about today. If there are any changes, you'll find out. Let's start with today's side comments, random stories, random thoughts that caught my attention, which once again will not be discussed at this time. Adamawa State Governor Madu Umaru Fintiri is in Rivers State for the commissioning of the Ezingo Link Road in Port Harcourt later today. He was received by Governor Wike at Government House. This is as the state government continues rounds of project commissioning and flag off of new ones in the state. To His Excellency the Adamawa State Governor, we welcome you to Rivers State, to Port Harcourt. We hope you had a good trip on your way here, and you and your entourage are having a great time in Port Harcourt so far. But if you feel the air is kind of stuffy, and for the moment you stepped in, you felt that the air may not have been as fresh as where you're coming from, don't worry. Don't worry too much, I might add. Uh, Over here, we call it suits, Your Excellency. We call it suits, and that's how we do it here, Your Excellency. We breathe in suits. Apparently, there's not much anybody can or has been able to do about it for God knows how long. We hear that it's on the exclusive list, and those who are responsible for the exclusive list appear to be at a loss as to what to do with the situation as well. So, Rivers residents, Port Harcourt residents have been left to their own devices to, I don't know, figure out how to survive with the suit situation. Some of us are praying, some people are praying to God, wonder how far that's going to get them. Some are simply hoping against hope, keeping their fingers crossed that someday soon we will get to responsive and responsible governments that are going to deal with the situation head on, tackle it, and finally resolve the issues. But while still here, enjoy River State's delicacies. I don't know if they do Bolly and Fish or Goblin House. I guess they do so. I saw a video trending some time ago. His Excellency was in the kitchen himself, turning things over there. You might enjoy a special governor's delicacy yourself if that might be on the menu. But also, like the rest of us here do enjoy our suits as well. Well, the rest of us do, even though we're not honorables or excellencies. So if it's good enough for the people, it's good enough for honorables and excellencies as well. Alright, another matter that caught my attention on the news today. Sad one here. Two children still missing 4 days after they were stolen by a yet to be identified woman over the weekend in the Diabo axis of Port Harcourt. Our correspondent gathered that May Success Tebong and Master Goodluck at Gemina, both aged 2, disappeared with a woman at Nwachuku Street, Mile 11. Is it Mile 11? Diabo on Friday. A relation to one of the children, Hope Sunday, told our correspondent that the unknown woman initially took 9 children but later disappeared with only 2 on this Sunday, so the matter has been reported to Azikwe Divisional Police Headquarters at Iluabuchi. Let's hear from Miss Hope and what she has to say about this most dreadful incident indeed.
There's one woman that come to carry children, like, so the woman was with other children. So they now, about 9 children, so he now left some and go with 3 children. The brother collected one, so now remain 2 children that he went with. So now we are looking for 2 children, good luck and success. 3 years, 3 years, both of them.
Very sad indeed, and I do hope the authorities are able to recover these children. Also, parents and guardians should be extra vigilant at this time, so perilous times indeed, and be more safety conscious, especially as regards the safety of much younger children, and even adults as well. Should be extra careful also if you're going to board buses or taxis, public transportation. Be extra careful. Watch out for the people in the vehicle, where you're boarding the vehicle. Just be extra careful. And even if you're in a private vehicle, do be awareness level should be very high. Basically, you should have a heightened sense of situational awareness. What's happening around you? Is there somebody looking around who's looking menacing, who's looking questionable? If you're in a vehicle, you might want to lock the doors at all times. Even if you have the window rolled down, do lock the doors once you're in a vehicle that's moving, in a private vehicle. So let's all be safety conscious and be on the lookout, basically. And I do hope these children are rescued once again and reunited with their loved ones. Commission of Information and Commission of Information on Communication and Real Estate, Polinos Interim, says the government needs the media to play its critical role in society. As Interim spoke during an event organized by the Correspondence Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists in the state. Let's hear what the Commissioner has to say about his expectations of the media. Here we go.
Presidency appreciates the wonderful support that given to his administration. He believes strongly that a media partnership is one very helpful way to make governance happen. We still have a lot to cover and will require the support of journalists in Rivers State for His Excellency to be strong. His Excellency has distinguished himself as a man with a vision, a man who has come to redefine governance in Rivers State.
That's all well and good, Commissioner. But I do hope that His Excellency and the government in general also appreciate that some of the roles of the media might one that you might not like very much, implying that the media is going to criticize government. It's the media's job to do that. The media is going to ask questions, and not necessarily because the media has a personal beef to grind with government. No, not because the media wants to demarket government or embarrass government or paint government in a bad light. No, but the media has a role to play, as you very well identified. The media has a responsibility of keeping government accountable. And keeping government accountable many times might require asking questions that may even be seen to be embarrassing for government, or that might even embarrass government. But once again, it's the role of the media. So if the media congratulates and gives a thumbs up or gives a standing ovation, the government would like that norm, obviously. But if the media also questions the motives of government or the actions or inactions of government should take that in good faith and in its stride as well. It's not impersonal. It's not impersonal, really. Let's see, what else caught my attention? The Nigeria Football Federation has appointed Augustine Guavoin, currently its technical director, as a technical advisor of the Super Eagles on an interim basis. His appointment is with immediate effect. It follows the termination of Franco German Gernot Rohr, who has been in charge of Super Eagles for the past 64 months. This is Nigeria's longest-serving manager. Guavoin, former Nigerian captain, was coach of the squad when it finished in third place at the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt in 2006. He was the on-field captain when the Super Eagles lifted the Africa Cup for the first time on away ground in Tunisia 27 years ago. I don't know. I know that there have been complaints about the performance of the Eagles recently, even with qualifiers in play and all of that. But I don't know if letting Raw go at this time is the best decision. I think we've got the Nations Cup coming. Is it next year? Yeah, next year. I think early next year. The Nations Cup, Africa Cup of Nations comes up, and we're changing the coach right now just before the tournament, which I think is in January once again. I'm not sure that's a very smart move, really. I'm not sure that's a very smart move. I think they should have left Raw, and whatever the outcome of his performance, and then they can decide to keep him on or let him go. But asking Austin Aguero to take over the team right now looks like a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. I know. Well, I do wish him the very best, though. Alright, so I think that's going to be that's a wrap on today's Science Comments. I'll go for a commercial breakdown. When I return, today's round comes on. Do please stay tuned. Not back to be back in a moment.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me, I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money? You think
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
With good hygiene practice, be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Our freedom depends on our proactive responsibilities.
Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number one news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you only on Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dio.
Hello, welcome back to Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. I like to write for just a bit. It's 26 minutes ago before 4 p.m. Something in my mind. You're expressing some thoughts in it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts in mine all the way till 4 p.m. Without further ado, let's get straight to today's topic, or today's subject of my rant. There is some story from off our bulletin from earlier on today, and let's get right to it straight away. A human rights group, a Legal Care Advocacy Foundation, has urged the police and other relevant security agencies to stop taking criminal matters that have death sentences as penalties to magistrate courts. Now, chairperson of the group, Jane James, made the call over the weekend in Port Harcourt to mark International Human Rights Day. Mrs. James said if such practice is stopped, it will address prison congestion as well as protect the rights of citizens. That's what Jane James had to say.
We are calling upon all persons that are involved in upholding of human rights that the complainant has a right, the state has a right, and the suspect and the inmate has a right. So we are saying no to every form of delayed justice. We are saying no to delayed legal advice, no to delayed information, no to missing files, no to indiscriminate and unequal charges in court. So we are urging the police commission to charge criminal matters that have death sentence penalty straight to the High Court instead of sending it to Magistrate Court, where we will start waiting for legal advice and the inmates will be there for 5 days, 10 years against their rights.
You would think that the things that Jane James just said, you would think that anybody in justice delivery should understand this. You would think that the police should know this. You would think that what's it again? Is it Department of Public Prosecution? Yeah, the DPP, absolutely. You would think that the Department of Public Prosecution, the DPP would know this. You would think that the Ministry of Justice would know this. You would think that the judiciary would know this. You would think the magistrates themselves would know this. You would think everybody would know this, really. And not just know it, but actually just acting on it, acting good faith, because it's just the right thing to do. Because it's just a sensible thing to do. It's the proper thing to do. But the question then arises, why don't they just do it? And in case you missed out on Jane James' comments just a while ago when I played it back, I'd like to play it back once again, and this time we'll analyze her comments frame by frame, if you will. So once again, here is Jane James of Legal Care Advocacy Foundation, urging the police and other relevant security agencies to stop taking criminal matters and have death sentences as penalties to magistrate courts. And it's not just matters that have death penalties as a sentence or a consequence, but even matters, several other matters that magistrate courts have no jurisdiction over. Why they keep on taking these cases before the magistrate is completely beyond me. But here's what Jane James had to say again.
We are calling upon all persons that are involved in upholding of human rights that the complainant has a right, the state has a right, and the suspect and the inmate has a right. So
absolutely, and that is one fundamental aspect of this, which I think that a lot of these people fail to identify with. I'm sure they know, especially those who are in the judiciary. After all, they do have legal training. They're supposed to be what's that thing they call themselves? They're supposed to be learned. Exactly, they're supposed to be learned. So they should know these things. And those in security agencies ought to know as well. They may not have any training in law, but they should know the law. I mean, you can't be in security. You can't be in law and order and not know what the law is. It makes no sense. So they should know these things, that the complainant has a right. Yes, government has a right. Even the accused person has a right as well. I think the police, if no one else, should be reminded of this constantly. Even accused people have rights also.
We are saying no to every form of delayed justice. We are saying no to delayed legal advice. No.
Absolutely. No to delayed justice, because justice delayed is justice denied. And once again, the lawyers ought to know this. The DPP ought to know this. Not to delayed legal advice. We hear all kinds of things happen from the DPP's office in providing advice. So here's what happened. So the police or the agents of state file matters before magistrate courts. Matters that you would be certain that they are certain they know that the magistrates have no jurisdiction. And then they file the case before a magistrate court. And then the magistrate says, okay, you know what, guys, well, there's a question of jurisdiction here, but I'm going to forward this to the office of the DPP and await legal advice. And then we get reports that sometimes this legal advice takes forever. Sometimes it never comes. Sometimes it takes weeks, takes months. It even takes years as well before DPP is able to provide legal advice. And we hear that in many instances, when there are these delays in providing this legal advice, they proffer or they offer the most unbelievable or unbelievably flimsy excuses, like they can't find some documents, or the case file is missing, and all the kinds of shenanigans like that. It's just outrightly outrageous and pretty preposterous, really.
To delay information, no to missing files, no to indiscriminate and unequal charges in court. So we are urging the police commission to charge criminal matters that have death sentence penalty to the high court instead of sending it to magistrate court, where we will start waiting for legal advice and the inmates will be there for 5 days, 10 years against their rights.
You heard that? For 5 days, 10 years. I mean, there must have been a 10-year scenario. Otherwise, I don't think Jane would have used. I mean, she was quite specific. 5 days, 10 years. Even though they were just examples, but I do imagine we must have had a 10-year scenario, which is why she would use a 10-year example. Even 5 days is unjust to hold the person. Now, there's several issues here. Number one, why do the police do it? I mean, the police, for example, why do they do it? If you were a prosecutor with the police, you must know. If you're in the legal department of the police or any other prosecuting agency, you must know. You must know, matters that the magistrate court has jurisdiction over, and you must know those matters that they have no jurisdiction over. And if you don't know, then you have absolutely no business being there. I don't know. Maybe you should just be at maybe you should just be around the Bikuri flyover collecting 15 naira and giving taxi drivers number 4. Really, even though that doesn't make sense either. But if we were to choose between you giving taxi drivers number 4 on the road around the Bikuri flyover, or charging cases to magistrate courts that the magistrate courts have no jurisdiction over, It's very unfortunate. Then you should just be, if you were to choose one of the two evils, I think the lesser evil is you giving number two at a breakaway flyover, because you have no business in that courtroom. So there's that. And then also, what is it with magistrates as well? If a matter is not one that your court should handle, just reject it outrightly. Insist that the prosecuting agency or agent file this case at the appropriate court. It's as simple as that. Why are you contributing to the pains and sufferings of these people? Because not everybody, and you would think that magistrates and judges and would know this, because not everybody that is brought before you is guilty. It's not unlikely that some of them are innocent, and considering the peculiarities of the Nigerian situation, it's very likely that a lot of them are actually innocent. So in many cases, you find that you are remanding the person in prison who has not even committed any crime at all, but maybe because his people did not come to bail him in some police station is why he's ended up before you in court. And then you remand that person in prison, waiting for advice from the DPP that sometimes takes years and still doesn't show up either. And you would think the DPP also should know this. How can you keep people remanded in prison custody for days, for months, for years, without providing advice as requested by a magistrate? That's just outright wickedness. There's no other name or term for it. It's inhumane. It's just plain evil, really. Right from the arresting or prosecuting agencies who carry out this heinous act, it's just downright evil. And it doesn't matter if the person is guilty or you perceive the person is guilty or the person is simply a suspect. Everybody has rights, and there is a reason we have these laws. There's a reason laws are crafted. There's a reason we have all these technicalities as well, because it is better that we let maybe 10 or even 100 guilty people go scot-free than to punish one innocent person. That's why we have all of these processes. That's why we have all of these technicalities, to ensure that innocent people do not suffer unjustly. So I very much hope that something profound will happen. I don't know, maybe some kind of law, some kind of process that's introduced to ensure that if a matter does not belong in a court, then you have no business taking it there. Especially the kinds of cases or matters that security agencies take before magistrate courts. How many times have we read news bulletins over here and we hear matters charged before magistrate courts, and the magistrate courts has referred the matters to the DPP seeking legal advice? Why didn't the prosecuting agency get the legal advice from DPP first before taking the matter to the magistrate courts? Well, legal advice is not needed before taking it to the wrong court. If you'd gotten legal advice in the first place, you probably would not have taken the matter to the wrong court. And having people remanded in prison unjustly, in some cases, to borrow Jane's example, for 10 years. Once again, it's pure evil. It makes no sense. I'm sure even in the legal profession, it makes absolutely no sense at all. And besides it not making any sense, I still believe as well it is just pure evil. And something should be done to bring an end to this, because once again, justice delayed is justice denied. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. I hope you were not bored. Let's get your take in mind. The numbers are the same. The lines are open. We got 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, and 0817 93 0007. We're live on facebook.com/NigeriaInfoPH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 Please keep it brief and straight to the point. And once the call is answered, do turn down the volume of your radio set. It's expedient to do so, else we literally cannot have ourselves a conversation. So the phone lines now. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dayo, good evening. My name is Andy.
Go ahead.
Very, very, very spot on this. Sometimes I used to wonder, why, if it's how it's done, as that's how we do it here. But because I know that, cases that carry death penalties, life imprisonment, armed robbery, murder cases, I used to wonder, why take it to magistrate court when you know that magistrate court has no jurisdiction? I know the painful part of this whole thing is that let's look at those who are there over trump-up charges. What happens in police station, like they say, allegedly, sometimes they want to punish somebody. They cook up a robbery case, cook everything up, write in the file, take the person to magistrate court. And the magistrate court will remind the person. Before the person comes out, 6 months, 1 year. Do you remember the Chima Ikunadu case? The young men were remanded by a magistrate court. So I keep wondering why it's like that. Thank you for bringing it to the fore. I hope those who are, the MBAs of this world should talk about this thing. Let's have, a justice system that is sanitized and pure. Thank you, my brother.
Absolutely. I mean, something needs to be done about this. And the MBA can play critical roles in all of these anomalies, really, because it doesn't make any sense. If the magistrate court doesn't have jurisdiction to deal with the matter, then it has no business entertaining that matter in the first place. Why was the matter even slated for hearing in the first place when you have no jurisdiction over it? Hello, I'm to welcome.
Hello, Dayo, good afternoon.
All right, go on.
Good afternoon, Dayo.
Go ahead, please.
Chief Bernard from Limousine.
Once again, via facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. It's so sickening that when you go to Port Harcourt prisons for any reason, either because you go there to pray with them or for researchable visit, you'll be shocked that on interaction with some inmates, you'll discover that a whole lot of them are on a waiting trial for as much as 15 years. Very sickening and inhumane. Mikey, I think, said that. Mikey Jew or something. Yeah, I mean, it's quite disturbing, really. Very disturbing. Please, is there any special money or payment that's being given to magistrate courts for a number of cases they adjudicate? Maybe more cases, more money, that's something to dig. I have no idea, but I really do not think so, however. Could have been done. I believe you've had a lawyer on the program before who explained this. This is a standard procedure backed by the Constitution. We really need to revise our Constitution to drop it totally. Isabella from Illinois said that. Yes, I do know that there might be some enabling law that allows for this to happen, but you should only take a matter to a court that the issue of jurisdiction should only come up in contentious cases. I mean, there are some instances where the jurisdiction matter might be grey. There might be some grey area, and then you get to court, and then the issue of jurisdiction can then come up, and that can be trashed out before the substantive matter is heard. But there are some cases that there is nothing contentious about it. There are certain crimes, it is clearly spelled out, that magistrate courts cannot adjudicate over those matters, and there are no doubts about that, and there's no reason for us to go there first to test this matter because they're very clear cut. Hello, how to welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, good evening to you.
Go on.
You see, in criminal justice system, we have 4 stages, and you cannot jump one to the other. If a police make arrest, police station, after that is the magistrate court. That is where the police will find themselves and you, the suspect. So no matter how intense that crime may be, they must first attest the water of the magistrate court. Then the judge over that case will now prefer, this is not my jurisdiction. Take him for legal advice. These are the processes. The only area we can fall, it is the duration. How long it takes for the DPPC to schedule this case to the appropriate quarter.
Hello, are you a lawyer?
Well, I'm not a practicing lawyer.
No, are you a lawyer or not? I didn't qualify.
I am a lawyer, but I'm not practicing.
Okay, all right. I have spoken to lawyers on this matter, even on house park as well. I believe I've spoken to one or two lawyers in this matter, and I'd rather take their position than yours. I'm quite certain there's nothing in the law that says that they must go to magistrate court first.
Check the legal system properly.
Okay,
If you bring about 10 cases to the floor,
yeah,
you will find that they all went to the magistrate court.
No, doesn't
Are
make
they not educated enough?
Doesn't make it the right thing
For
to
you,
do.
no, it might not be to you, but on the legal process, it has 4 stages, which you must prefer them to.
So every case must go to magistrate court first.
As long as the Nigerian police is involved.
No, I'm not asking. No, your response is completely different from what I'm asking you. You are not quoting the practice of the Nigerian police. You are quoting the law, referencing the law.
Legal
so
system.
What I'm asking you is,
the way it is being
can you listen to my question, please? My question is: are you saying that the Nigerian law states that every matter must be presented before a magistrate court first?
No, not every matter. I use a clause. As long as the Nigerian police is involved.
Okay, once the Nigerian police is involved.
Arrest has been made.
Just a moment, please. Just a moment, please. My question is, are you saying the Nigerian law states that as long as the police is involved, every matter must appear before the magistrate court first?
That is what the law says.
Okay, all right.
For every police arrest, you must take that man to the nearest court, which is the magistrate court. If you are arrested somewhere at LMA Junction, which of the magistrate court along that area that should try that suspect, take him to the magistrate court.
Which law are you referencing?
Hello?
Which law are you referencing?
The law I read.
Which law are you referencing?
I'm referencing to Nigerian law.
Can you be specific as to which law you're referencing?
Specific to you, Nigerian law.
Nigerian law.
Call any lawyer, call any barrister.
Just can you be specific as to what law you're referencing?
I'm referencing to the criminal justice system.
Okay, all right. Okay. Your position is noted. I will ask around. I will ask about that, but his position is quite clear. But I believe I have spoken to a few lawyers on this matter, and their position differs from his. But I will look into that once again. Now, even if that were the case, and that is the essence of my rant, really. Even if that were the case, I know that there are some provisions of the law that allows for that to happen, but that it states expressly that you must go to magistrate court first. I seriously have my doubts about that. And even if that were the case, once again, which I doubt actually, the fact of the matter is it doesn't make any sense. If you know already, if the law has already stated that this matter, that the magistrate court has no jurisdiction to enter or to entertain this matter, then why would there be an existing law that says you must take the matter to the magistrate court first? What would be the essence of that? If once again the same law has stated that the magistrate court cannot entertain that matter, it has no jurisdiction in handling that matter, what then will be the essence of the law that mandates or makes it compulsory for the matter to be taken before magistrate court first? It doesn't quite seem logical to me. Well, like I said, I will ask around to see if we do have any law expressly mandating it to be compulsory once the police is involved in any matter. It must be taken to magistrate court first. All right, let's see. Any more comments via? Let's see. Our Kevin the Gotson on Facebook goes, the security agencies we have, do they listen? Oh, they have to. Really. And via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Dar. It's obvious to me the judiciary is not just the most corrupt arm of government, but they pervert justice. Many people hearing you now may not understand the context of your rant until they experience it. It's so disgraceful that they sometimes discuss about the pains they meet on people with laughter, joy, and plates of pepper soup and drinks in bar with ridiculous references about some clients not being able to afford bail money or amount demanded by lawyers starts from jail. Good afternoon. I recall during the Chima Penalty case, the DPP's advice was also an issue over the surviving. It was when there was public outcry that DPP advice started flying all over the place. It's not a mistake that they take these cases to courts that have no jurisdiction. The bar, the bench, and the police are in cahoots in this. If not, the magistrate should award penalties for deliberate wrong jurisdiction, especially from police, which has sound legal departments amounting to several billions yearly. And you see these and others awaiting trial issues diminish. All right. Let's see. Thanks for voicing out this act of injustice being carried out in voiceless citizens. The prison in PH is 80% filled with people gradually dying due to rigorous DPP procedures. Also via WhatsApp, good evening. In all sincerity, there's nothing like human rights in Nigeria. All we have is a system that seems normal for the high-minded. The masses, whether suspected not as one way or the other, being unjustly treated. Our justice system is the foundation of injustice. That's Frank from Woji. Alright, Chef, I think that's about it. That's as much as I can take. But like I said, I will definitely be checking to confirm the worst award I'm looking for right now. To confirm the statements of that previous caller, even though I do have my doubts about it though. Can they take this matter before magistrate courts seeking remand orders? Yes, they can do that. I think there is some provision in law that allows for them to do that. But is there a law that states that they must? Because what his argument is that every matter involving the police must be taken to before the magistrate's court. And he says there's a law that mandates that. I do have my doubts about that once again, but I will definitely be checking that. Alright, just about 4 p.m. break for the business news, and discussions continue afterwards. We'll be looking at the issue of cultism or cult-related activities in government in Nigeria. Remember the story here, Kati, I think it's the cable, how Black House Cult Group is infiltrating Nigerian politics. That's according to the cable. Is cultism a big problem in Nigerian politics? When I return after the business news, please stay with us.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me, I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
And now the business news.
Hello, thanks for staying tuned. Here's the business news. The Bayelsa State Government and members of the House of Reps Committee on Environment are to visit the site of the old school in Nene local government today. In an interview with our correspondent, the Commissioner of Environment, Iselema Gbarangiri, said the aim of the visit is to assess the impact of the spill.
Today, the state government, in collaboration with the House of Reps Committee on Environment, is to move to the site to take assessment of the impact of the spill on the environment. That's the position we are now. The IJ people are down to do, they are doing recovery and they have only collected a gross recovery of 2 million barrels.
Mr. Barambiri also said the spill did not just affect communities in Nimbe local government area, but also Brass and Southern Ijo local government areas. And the presidency says there is no part of the Finance Bill 2022 forcing Nigerians to have a tax ID number to operate a bank account. It said this in a statement, adding that the main changes proposed under the bill will be further defended at both the Senate and the House of Reps this week. A quick break and business news continues shortly. Please stay with us. Welcome. On the foreign scene, Turkish currency, lira, has fallen to a near record low amid fears that the central bank will make a further cut in interest rates later this week. At one point, it was down nearly 7%, at just under 15 to the dollar, but it recovered slightly after the bank intervened in the market to prop it up. The currency is now worth about half its value at the beginning of the year, and President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has pushed the central bank to keep cutting rates despite surging inflation. And oil prices were like crude goes for $71.19 a barrel and Brent $74.67 a barrel. And finally, official exchange rates: $1 goes for 411 naira 75 kobo, a euro exchanges for 464 naira 8 kobo, and a pound goes for 543 naira 6 kobo. And that's the business news. For more stories, do visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Elusakin. Good evening.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me, I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money? You think
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
Our freedom depends on our proactive responsibilities.
Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number one news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
Is sensitive and decisive.
News, 12 noon.
The abandoned project by the former administration, it's a problem. I have spoken with my people. We all agree that from today there shall be no materialization.
News, 6 p.m.
We don't sell assets to consume. If there is need for it, to sell assets, to invest, to create wealth.
Tune in to our major bulletins at 6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m.
6 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m.
And our updates every hour on the hour on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We start you off in the morning, keep you all day, and keep you company all night long. We are 92.3 Nigeria Info. The first talk station of the nation.
Every city street would be celebrating. All the evergreens would be decorated. And there'd still be a million lights. There'd still be mistletoe. But it wouldn't feel the same, 'cause all I